What's going on, guys? Roger here with QBO Tactical. In today's video, we are checking out what some may consider to be the Ferraris of the double stack 1911/2011 world. Of course, I'm talking about Atlas Gunworks and their new 4.25-inch commander length Ares model. As always, I like to tell you guys how I go about getting these products in for review. I recently attended the Guns Out event in Virginia. During that event, I met with the Atlas team and expressed my interest in getting some of their guns on the channel for us to check out. I was then put in contact with their marketing team, who agreed to send us the Ares model in both the ported and non-ported versions so that we could get some more time with them on the range. These guns have been sent out to us on a T&E basis, and sadly, they will be going back to Atlas after this review. We appreciate their support from Atlas, and thank you for letting us check out these awesome handguns. Okay, so before we get into the range footage, guys, let's go over the specs of these guns. The Atlas Gunworks Ares model is offered in both a 4.6-inch length and a 4.25-inch commander length, which is what we have here. The gun weighs 30 ounces, it has a 3-pound trigger, and is optic cut to accept a variety of optics using the Atlas included optic plate. For this review, we were using the Trijicon RMR and the Trijicon SRO. The gun is a full metal build using their in-house aluminum grip modules in conjunction with a lightweight aluminum frame. The gun will ship in a nice carrying case with 3 magazines. For the non-ported version, you are looking at a price point of $6,000, and for the ported model, you are looking at a price point of $6,400. Definitely on the higher end of the double stack 1911 world, and after getting more time with these guns on the range, I have a better understanding of why. Okay, moving on to the range portion. As always, we like to record our first rounds through the gun, so here is that footage now. All right, guys, Dave's finally here, out on the range with a 4.25-inch Ares from Atlas. We're gonna shoot the non-ported version first, and then I'll switch out to the ported version, and that way I'm shooting them both side by side and kind of getting a feel for the differences and what I think. But anyways, got some 124s in here, and let's see how we do. I'm gonna shoot 5 to 10 rounds here on this target. Stand by. Man. So this is actually the exact gun that I shot back at the Guns Out event in Virginia. This is their demo model they sent out to us. But the thing just returns right to 0. Like, regardless of the recoil, like, it's still there, but the gun comes right back to 0 and just stays there. It doesn't, like, I don't have to compensate for it. I just shoot and the gun comes naturally back to where I can fire off again. Let's go look at this grouping down here. So, I mean, as far as having the 0 of these guns, I think it's pretty on. Nice tight group, all within the 10 ring. I wasn't shooting a super slow cadence, wasn't shooting a super fast one, but a decent cadence, and that's where the grouping is. So I'm gonna have Jade and John try this one out, and then, like I said, we'll switch out to the ported version. All right, we got John up now. He's gonna run his first rounds through the Atlas Ares 4.25-inch non-ported. Go for it.
It does, you're right. It comes right back. That dot just stays on. That's pretty sweet.
Did you get a chance to shoot it at the Guns Out event?
I don't think so, no. I was just watching you shoot it.
Gotcha. All right, we got Jade up now. She's actually never even heard of Atlas until I brought these home, huh?
Correct, yeah.
All right, well, with that being said, first rounds through the Atlas Ares. Go for it.
Pretty smooth. Pretty smooth.
How was the recoil for you, and then the optic coming back?
Recoil wasn't bad. Optic didn't really leave too far, honestly. The first shot, yeah, a little surprising just because I'm not used to it. It's the first time I've ever shot this. But once you get the hang of it after that first shot, it's nice and easy.
All right, guys, so after all of the rounds that we just fired for our first initial rounds, that is the grouping from all 3 of us. So I'd say about 30 rounds, about 25 to 30 probably in there, and every single one of them is within the 9 ring. All right, guys, now for the ported model of the same gun. So it is another Atlas Aries. Very similar setup. This one's going to be running the Trijicon SRO, same Surefire X300, but this one has the 2 ports here in the barrel where the windows are at in the slides. So still running some 124s as well. This time we're going to aim at the top left bullseye, and we'll just see how this feels. I have not shot this one at all. Like I said, I shot the other one back at the Guns Out event, but the ported model I have not shot. Here we go. I can notice a difference shooting them side by side. I definitely feel lighter recoil, and what I mean by that is just like when the gun was going up, recoiling and coming back and settling down with the non-ported version, a little more violent versus this. It's a little softer. Coming up here, looking at the group, was able to keep everything within the 10 ring. Got a line breaker right here. And again, not shooting a super slow cadence, but not shooting a super fast one either. And we kept everything within the 10 ring. So as far as the two, they both feel super solid when you shoot them. Just a different recoil impulse versus like the hard recoil to reset back to 0 and the softer one. I'm not sure which one I prefer yet, but after this range session, we should be able to determine that. In addition to that, I'm going to run some of the R90 grain plus P through the setups here in a little bit, and that I'm sure I'm going to like better in the ported version. But I'm going to have Jade and John try the ported version as well and see what their thoughts are. All right, got John up now. He's going to run the Atlas Aries 4 1/4 inch with the ports at the front of the muzzle. Go for it.
Very smooth.
So shooting them side by side within 5 minutes of one another, what do you think?
I think this one's a little bit flatter. Stays on. Doesn't quite hop off as much, but still stays right on the dot. Pretty nice. I like it.
All right, Jade's up now. You know the drill. Atlas Aries 4 1/4 ported model. Go for it. I like it. If there's ammo to be shot, you're going to shoot it.
It's pretty good. Try this out. Yeah, super smooth. To be completely honest with you, I'm still trying to feel like what the difference is between a non-ported and a ported gun. So I don't really have the verbiage, adjectives to explain it.
Sure.
But it still feels like a great gun.
Did you notice a difference or no?
I can't tell yet.
Gotcha. All right, guys, and after about another 25 to 30 rounds with the ported version, that is the grouping that we have. Only shooting about 7-10 yards out, but again, guys, not shooting a super slow cadence, and I will take that grouping all day long. Next up, I wanted to record the different grains of 9mm ammunition in slow motion to show you all the differences in recoil. We are now running a high-speed camera that records at 1,000 frames per second, which definitely makes it easier to see what gun and what grain of ammunition works best in regards to mitigating recoil and returning the gun to 0. Now I found that the 147 grain 9mm worked and felt the best, especially when shooting the ported model. You can especially see it here when I put both guns side by side in slow motion with the 147 grain. You'll notice the ported model with the Trijicon SRO doesn't rise as much as the non-ported Aries, and then it returns to zero just a little quicker. A quicker return to zero is going to translate to quicker follow-up shots, which you will see here shortly when we run some build drills from concealment. Now, I felt a very noticeable difference when shooting the 147 grain 9mm, so much that I decided to have John and Jade shoot the ported Aries with 124 grain and then 147 grain side by side just to get their reactions. All right, so something I noticed when shooting 124 and 147 back to back was something very interesting. I'm definitely liking the 147s on this ported model of the Atlas Aries. I haven't said why to John or Jade yet. I'm just gonna have them shoot it on camera and get their reactions. Go for it, John. So first 2 rounds you have in that gun are some 124s, and the second 2 are gonna be some 147s.
Wow, that is a difference.
Right?
Yeah, like just smooths right out.
It goes from like 9mm to 22.
Yeah, it's like putting a cushion on it or something. It's just so smooth.
All right, we got Jade up now. She's gonna try, again, first 2 rounds are gonna be some 124s, and the second 2 are gonna be 147. Side by side, give it a whirl.
Yeah, so I overheard John with his comments, and I 100% agree. The 147s feel way nicer in this particular gun compared to the 124s. Softer, I guess, like you said, like a cushion almost. Like, it's crazy.
After this, I decided to run the rest of the range day using only 147 grain ammunition. It was literally one of the softest shooting guns I've run in a while. It felt more like a plus P 22 caliber round to me. Needless to say, I was definitely digging it. Next up, I ran some shooting on the move drills using our secondary OWB holster that we make here at QVO Tactical. I ran the drill from 2 different camera angles. I want everyone to take note of how smooth the gun cycles and how at regular speed it doesn't even look like there's any muzzle rise. This made it very easy to get all of my hits while shooting on the move, even at that mini A-zone steel target that is only 6 inches wide. The next thing I wanted to do was run the Atlas Aries in my 2011 duty holsters to ensure that they were compatible. I'm happy to report that with both the Safariland ALS RDS Staccato P holster and the Blackhawk T-Series holster, you'll be able to run the Atlas Aries 4.25-inch model. However, you won't be able to run the larger SRO optic, as that optic is too large to fit into the optic shrouded area of both holsters. Now, the last thing I wanted to do on the range was run some drills from concealment. I did this with both the non-ported Aries as well as the ported model. All right, guys, back out here on the range with the Atlas Aries. I have the non-ported version here. I'm just gonna run some concealment drills, and then I'm gonna switch over to the ported version and see what I notice in regards to the porting between the differences between both guns. So anyway, first thing I'm gonna start off with is just some single shots from concealment. Got a paper target here at about 7 yards, and let's see how we do. Here we go, stand by. Dead center A-zone for a 146. A-zone for a 137. Another A for a 153. High in the neck for a C-zone shot at a 111. C-zone again for a .97. and a .93 if you can grab that.
Got it.
Cool, let's go look at the hits over here. So 6 shots, got the first 3 A zone nice and clean, and then low C, and then 2 high C's for sub-seconds. So single shots, the gun feels great. Like I was saying earlier, the gun just comes back to 0, and it's weird because when you're shooting, like a lot of times you have to stop the gun kind of just stops where you want it to. But I'm going to run some bill drills now for concealment and just kind of see how that recoil does. It's all high in the neck. 184, first shot was a 103.
1 second. Got it.
Go over here and look at these hits now. So I was talking about that recoil coming right back down. That's why I'm like, there's 2 shots right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And sub 2 second from concealment. I'll run a couple more of these and just see where we're at. But even for, like, this is the non-ported version. And earlier I was running the 147s and just like fell in love with it, especially with the ported version. So I'm running 147s for the rest of this range day. But I mean, even with the non-ported version, this is the kind of hits that you're getting in sub 2. But yeah, let me run this. I'm gonna run it non-ported a couple more times, then we'll switch over. And a 182, first shot was a 9.8.
Bring it. There you go. Got it.
Cool. So, got one low guy here. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 Alpha, 2 Charlie. For a total time of 182. I will take that. I'm gonna switch over now to the ported version and just see if my times improve. All right, guys, now I'm gonna run some drills for concealment with the Atlas Aries ported version. This one obviously has the 2 forts here in the front, but also has the bigger Trijicon SRO optic. I'm only gonna do some bill drills because the first shot for concealment should be the same between the ported and non-ported versions. However, I do think we're gonna have a faster bill drill time with the ported version. That bill drill on the non-ported, the last one I did was a 182, so let's see if we can beat that. Here we go, stand by. That was a 175. First shot was a 1 second flat. Let me know when you got it. Cool. So 175, 6 shots, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All alpha, all clean. Yeah. So obviously the ports are helping this gun come right back to 0 quicker. Something we saw in the slow-mo, I'm sure. Additionally, for me, having the bigger SRO, I was able to see all of this and just keep that dot right there. And I'm able to track the dot the whole time the gun is cycling, which is really awesome. So I want a couple more of these, but 175 from concealment, all A, all alpha. I dig it. That was a 180, first shot 104. Split times on those. Got a 16, 14, 16, 15, 15. And then these were a little high, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 Alpha, 3 Charlie, all center though. Man, it's just so easy to track that dot. And last one was a 184, first shot 108. Splits of 18, 15, 15, 13, 15. And how we looking? 4 Alpha, 1 Charlie, and then 1, I believe this head not in the actual box is a Bravo. Might be a Charlie. Either way, again, all center line. I'll take those all day long. Total time, 190. First shot was a 115. Let's go look at the hits. Man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright guys, so my overall thoughts on the Aries 4.25 inch Commander from Atlas Gunworks. This gun definitely lives up to the hype. Everything about the platform is well thought out. The full metal build with the pinned beaver tail and Euro style groove lets you get really high up on that gun. That aluminum frame keeps the gun lightweight and comfortable to carry on your belt. Now one thing I wanted to talk about is the timing of the Atlas guns. What I mean by that, when I spoke to Mark with the Atlas marketing team, he explained to me that their idea of a great gun is one that allows you to shoot shoot 2 rounds rapidly with the rounds landing one on top of the other. I better understood this when I got out to the range, especially with the ported model. So when you're shooting the Atlas Aries, you're going to notice that after the gun recoils, it returns to 0 on its own. The gun literally stops where you were last aiming, allowing you to take up your follow-up shot quickly. To better illustrate this, I shot 2 round drills with the camera pointed at the target, showing the hits as they happened. Now this was crazy to me on the range, guys. Stacking rounds right on top of each other has never been this easy with all of my years of shooting. This just goes to show you how much engineering, research, and time has gone into the Atlas Gunworks lineup. Now, I know some of you guys are already wondering which is better, the ported model or the non-ported model. For me, it's definitely going to be the ported model. I noticed it significantly on the range after shooting them side by side, especially with that 147 grain ammunition. Now, did I notice it more because I've been shooting for a lot longer than John and Jade? Maybe. As you saw, Jade really didn't notice much of a difference, so maybe you won't either. My thoughts, though, are that if you're already spending $6,000 on this gun, you might as well spend the additional $400 to get the ported model. Just my 2 cents. Now, speaking of the price, I know some of you are blown away at the price point of $6,000 or $6,400 and are wondering, is it really worth that high price tag? Obviously, guys, that question is subjective, but I will say this. Atlas guarantees your gun will be built in 90 days. That 3-month lead time is because they have so many orders coming in at this price point already. It's been a while since I've shot a gun that really surprised me. When shooting this ported Aries model with the 147 grain 9mm, I immediately understood that price point. Being able to create something that performs this well and shoots this accurate is definitely going to be expensive. Again, guys, that's subjective in my opinion. If you think the gun's overpriced and you're better off buying something cheaper and spending more money on ammunition, more power to you. However, like I said, Atlas currently has a 90-day lead time, and I don't see that going down anytime soon with the amount of people wanting to get one of these, me included. Now, with every video, guys, I did notice a couple of things about the Aries that I wasn't super fond of. The first things are the included magazines. I dig that the gun comes with flush magazines that fit cleanly into the mag well, but I do wish at a price point of $6,400, you got more than 3. The included bag that the gun ships with has a spot for 7 magazines. I wish that they filled all of those up with more mags. I also noticed that even with the flush fitting magazine, I did experience a little bit of printing while out on the range. When rocking a larger gun like this, I typically wear like a button up or something a little baggier to avoid this. Even though the Aries is a commander length gun, it still will not be as easy to conceal as a subcompact handgun. Again, guys, something that's easily fixed by wearing the normal flannels that you guys see me wearing as the weather is now getting colder. Alright guys, that's going to wrap up our video on the Atlas Aries 4.25-inch Commander model from Atlas Gunworks. We hope you guys all enjoyed the video. If you did, please be sure to like the video down below because that does help out the channel. Big thanks to Kevin and Mark with Atlas Gunworks for working on getting us these guns out on the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. We literally had a blast, full pun intended. Guys, if you want to see more videos like this, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. You can also support our channel by joining our Patreon group. They're a huge reason why we keep making these videos for you guys all to watch. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.